Today I travel to the Flinders Ranges in South Australia. This is an ancient landscape, rugged, remote and spectacular, home to an ancient culture. It's an area full of surprises and where its powerful spirit literally brought me to tears. Wow. I am truly humbled. This is incredible. And if you're coming to the Flinders Ranges, it's very likely you're going to come through the town of Hawker. This is in the south of the ranges. This is where the road splits and goes either up the east side or the west side of the ranges. Today I'm going up the east side. A lot of caravans in town. I think that's fairly normal, but maybe there's a little bit more than usual at the moment because it's actually a holiday weekend coming up, so it's going to build up and get a bit busy up there in the Flinders. This is the old Hawker railway station. It's not in use anymore as a railway station, but there is a restaurant there. And as I look around, you really do get a sense that you're on the edge of the outback now. It's just flat scrub and then hills, scrubby hills in the distance. Now there are a couple of places in the Flinders where you can get supplies, but it really helps to stock up before you go. So I've got a fridge full of food and a pantry full of food. I've topped up my water and I've topped up my petrol. Let's hit the road and go to Wilpena Pound. And off in the distance, way in the distance, we get our first glimpse of the Flinders Ranges. Ah yes, this is what I think of when I think of the Flinders Ranges. Scrubby bush, rolling hills and distant mountains. Cool, I've got mountains on both sides of me now. We've got mountains over here. And there. Now a feature of the Flinders Ranges are all these dry creek beds. There's mountains here, so on the rare occasion when it does rain, all the water comes down off the mountains and hits these creeks, and usually you get flash flooding, and it's pretty powerful. This is what it does. It creates all these little gorges here. Terry for scale. We're going for a little hike up to an ancient art gallery. The Flinders Ranges is a really old landscape, and it's dry and it's rocky and it's rugged, but it's incredibly beautiful. How cool. Of course, it's behind a cage to protect it. These rock carvings have been here for thousands of years, and we want them to still be here thousands of years from now. So that'll protect it from any idiots. And it's gorgeous. So these paintings were painted thousands of years ago by the Adnya Matana people, the traditional owners of this land. Adnya Matana, I believe, means people of the rock. And the mountain range that goes through here is seen by the traditional people as the skeleton of Mother Earth. So just ahead of me is the northern escarpment of Wilpena Pound, which is a really large bowl. It's completely surrounded by mountains with one entrance, and in the old days somebody thought that was a great place to put your sheep because then they wouldn't wander off. I've come to the Wilpena Pound Resort. There's a camping ground here for powered and unpowered sites. It cost me $37 for an unpowered site. We've got the Visitors Information Centre. There's a shop here so you can buy whatever you need for your camping and luxuries. You can get petrol, which is important because there aren't too many places that sell petrol up here. It's pretty remote. There's phone coverage at the park, and there's even free Wi-Fi. Once you're out of the park in this area here, you're pretty much out of any sort of phone range. And if caravanning and camping is not your thing, then there's a motel here and also cabins that you can book. So this is home for the next couple of nights. They've got an awful lot of sites here, plenty of powered and unpowered, plenty of amenities blocks. It's cool. From Wilpena Pound Resort and the Tourist Information Centre, you can do a whole series of bushwalks. So I'm doing one today. It's just a short one to the old homestead. I think it's about 6 kilometres return. And everything's pretty well signposted and colour-coded, so I shouldn't get lost. The Flinders Ranges is incredibly dry, but that doesn't mean there's not water here. And on the trail to the homestead, there's a permanent water hole. And the walk gives you an opportunity to just take in a little bit of scenery, the plant life, and if you're lucky, a couple of animals. No drones allowed here in Wilpena Pound because of the helicopters and planes that are flying over, and it might interfere with them. So the only way to get a view is to walk to the top of a hill. So behind me is Wilpena Pound. And if you follow the path in, you finally come to the old homestead. Which has been fixed up, because I remember coming here as a teenager and it was just a ruin in those days. The next day I hit the road for one of the Flinders Range's most spectacular drives. Not sure that Nessie here's cut out for this road, but I guess we're going to find out soon. There's definitely a sense of isolation driving through here. There's the odd four-wheel drive coming by, but otherwise there's nothing else around here. No cell service, nothing like that. A couple of kangaroos hopping past, and I've seen the odd emu, and that's about it. But oh my god, it is worth it. Razorback Lookout is epic.
It's easy if you let it go. We take
Now I'm coming into Bunu Gorge on the way hopefully to Bunu Gorge. And I'm not sure this is actually even a road anymore. We're just driving along the bottom of the creek bed. Oh my goodness. It's a bit rough, but oh my god, it's very cool. Let's hop out and have a quick look. Oh, this is incredibly awesome. This is beautiful. So I'm right in the middle of the gorge. Got one side there. And another there. And I didn't capture it on camera, but a couple of eagles just drifted by. Oh, getting out in nature is amazing. This is fun. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at in both directions. This is very cool. And on the other side, and you know, the cool thing about being in a van is if I get hungry, I can just stop and make myself a sandwich. So that's what I've done. As I've come out of Bunu Gorge and I'll be heading into Bunu Gorge. The cool thing about the journey too is that most of the time you're in second and third gear, you're going pretty slowly, which gives you plenty of time to take in the scenery and avoid the rocks. Okay, I just came across another van coming in the opposite direction, and so the word is this is probably going to be the end of the road for the van. It's not doable. Yeah, this is about as far as I'm willing to go in the van. There's a little bit of water here, but apparently the rocks are the problem. Look, I think the van will probably make it, but I worry about things like this, because that'll take out the entire underside of the van. And this is the road ahead, so I think that's a wise choice not to take the van. I don't think it's going to make it. But if this is the end of my road on this drive, then I'm happy with that because it's beautiful. But there are rock wallabies up here, and I think I've just spotted one. I'll see if I can get a shot of it.
And there is one that you can just see the back of him.
Okay, well the gorge keeps going, but I don't. I'm going to turn around and head back and go back to Alpina Pound and put my feet up for the day, I guess. But this has been a sensational drive. So if you come to the Flinders Ranges, definitely do the drive through to Bunu Gorge. That's pretty safe in a two-wheel car. You're going to need four-wheel drive to go any further than that. Next morning I headed north towards Bliman. On the way I stopped for a formation known as the Great Wall of China. I've now come up the road to the very small town of Bliman, which was established in 1864 when copper ore was found here. There's not a lot in Bliman, but it definitely has a feel of an outback town.
Coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin. Tonight the whiskey feels stronger. Gasoline on hidden desires.
Of course, Bliman's well past its prime, but these days there's still a steady flow of people coming through. This is a stop-off town if you're heading further up to the northern Flinders or heading across to Paratuna. And so there's cafes here, and probably the busiest building in town is the pub. And if you're in Bliman, you could have a beer at the pub. Cheers. So I've pulled in for the night at Onya Eco Camp, which is just a couple of kilometres out of Bliman. If you're wanting peace and quiet, this is the place to be. There's really very little here, but there's one thing that this place has in abundance: silence. I literally can't hear anything. Even the flies have stopped. I can't remember the last time I heard nothing but silence. Yeah, you know you're in the outback when you see signs like that. The next morning I drove into more remoteness as I headed towards Chambers Gorge for something quite special. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever driven on such a rough track, but somehow I'm getting through. Coming down an old dry creek bed in a remote area. I don't think I've ever been anywhere so remote, to look at ancient rock carvings. Oh, I love it. This excites me. They're very faint because they've been here for thousands of years, but if you look closely and take your time, you start to see them. Little did I know I was only just getting started. Nothing could have prepared me for what was further up the creek. What a place. Oh my God, you just feel how spiritual this place is. It's incredible. An entire wall, 40 feet high, covered in ancient engravings. Can you imagine what kind of Garden of Eden this would have been once? You've got the rock face there, the creek comes down, a beautiful waterfall. Where I'm standing now would have been a lovely swimming hole. And you've got an art gallery that's thousands of years old. Oh, this would have been such a special place. It still is, but filled with water. Oh my goodness. Wow. I am truly humbled. This is incredible. Ah. And there are two eagles just hovering above the canyon, just watching. Oh my goodness, this is such a special place. I'm just overwhelmed at the beauty and spirit of this place. I'm just finding it really overwhelming. I know I'm getting all teary, but they're happy tears. I think it's one of the most beautiful spiritual places I've ever been in my life. And you can feel it. I'm so glad I came here. Driving back, the Flinders had one more surprise for me. Well, this isn't something I expected to see. The Flinders Ranges is a remarkable part of Australia, and I really recommend that you take the time to come and have a look and see what it has to offer. I'll catch you in the next one.